Hey guys, and welcome to technically the second episode of On and Off the Court. And I'm here with an afro today. Um, my mom says I look like anime, not an anime character, just anime. So I'll take that as a compliment, Boondocks. Yeah, in this episode, I really wanted to talk about my takes on the NBA season, like upcoming season, because so much has gone on with the trade system, so much is going on. And yeah, I just wanted to share my opinions with you guys because I think there's so much going on. And if you don't know about the trades going on, I think you'll get to know in this episode. Yeah. So I wanted to start with last season. Last season, the playoffs it was so scripted in the most beautiful way. Like, imagine if the Knicks hadn't won. Like, just imagine if the Knicks hadn't won. Game 3, when the Spurs won and the Knicks lost. Bro, I was seeing on Instagram, bro, fights were breaking out. Fights were breaking out. And that was just from game 3. Imagine the Knicks had lost the whole thing. Like, it was so perfect that the Knicks won. And obviously they worked hard for it. Obviously they deserved it. But like, it just felt like a script. If you were watching it in the time, it just felt like a movie. Like, it was so perfect. Like, they were just meant to win from the beginning. It was like they were the main characters that were just meant to win. And the Spurs were like the agonists that was just like, they had all reason to win as well. They had Wemby. They had like, it was the type of thing that like if it wasn't a movie, the agonist would win. The antagonist would win. If it wasn't a movie, the antagonist would win. But they didn't, and then the heroes came through. And it's like I definitely think part of that win was because of how much support New York was getting, and that was just like so interesting to watch. And like you just had to be there. It was one of those series that was just like it was so good. It would be crazy to imagine what would happen if the Spurs won instead. And I think because the Spurs are still such a young team, it was good for the Knicks to win because now Wemby has so much more he can work on. Same with like the other players, there's so much more they can work on, but they are such a strong team. And like everyone's saying they're an early team, but they're saying they're just on time. Like it's gonna be so interesting to watch them in this next season as well, and for many seasons to come. Okay, moving on from that, this season. So, for any of you who don't know, when seasons end after the playoffs, from the end of when a team is knocked out, eliminated from the playoffs or the play-ins, or even if they didn't make it to playoffs, from that point on, through the whole of summer, teams can make trades. They can make trades with other teams that are not in the playoffs, not playing, teams that have been eliminated. And now that all the teams are done, everyone can make trades. Like everyone can make trades. There's so many rules to the trades. I don't even know all of them, I'm going to be completely honest. But there's so many rules to the trade. And the trade happens from the whole summer up until like early February, which is the trade deadline. And I remember last year, no, this year, and like before the playoffs started, there was so much questioning about where Giannis was gonna go. And I was just like, I love Giannis, but he needed to leave Milwaukee Bucks. Like Milwaukee Bucks, they weren't doing it for him. Like he is such a great player. He's such a great player. Like there was a game he dropped like 50 straight up points. Like he is just an incredible player. He's been MVP a good few times. He won a championship with the Bucks in 2021. He's like a really good player. He's 31 now, so it's a good age. And I was just thinking, I was like, he needs to leave. But by the time it was trade deadline, Giannis hadn't left the Milwaukee Bucks yet. So people were like, okay, he'll probably just move after the playoffs in the next season where he's going. Now, I'll come back to Giannis because I want to talk about the LaMelo trade first. But Giannis did get traded, and as many of you may know, that is to Miami Heat. And I think that's great, and I'm going to share my opinions on that in a bit. I want to talk about the LaMelo trade. LaMelo was traded from the Charlotte Hornets to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, Minnesota Timberwolves, their first option is Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a great player. Like, the way he handles the ball, the way he dunks it, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And people are saying, some people, there's really mixed opinions on this trade. Some people are saying it's absolutely amazing. Like, he needed a second man. He needed someone to help him out, help him bring up the ball, help him get into the paint with the ball. Like, just swing the ball to him, help control the game with him, because he was kind of mainly the only one doing it on Minnesota Timberwolves, and the other players were mainly it's a bit of a bigger team. So now everyone's saying now that LaMelo's coming, this is gonna bring a crazy backcourt. The backcourt is basically like just like the top players, the guards, for example, and this is gonna be a great backcourt. He's now got someone else with him to run the game. Some people think it's going to be amazing, it's going to be legendary, this, that, and the third. Now, my original reaction was, these players, they're both young, they're both competitive, they're both competitive, obviously. They've both got an ego. They've both got they both want to be the star player, and I just feel like that's my perception of it. However, LaMelo, he's got like a 7.3 assist record in stats this season, and he makes a lot of assists. So he's a team player. He's a team player, and Ant-Man too. He's a team player. Like, they both want to show up for their team, show through for their team. But like I said, they are both young, and I feel like their personalities might clash at some point. That's only my opinion. But like I said in my last episode, players are professional. Whatever happens, they're gonna make it work. But I just have a feeling that it could end up something like the Kobe and Shaq situation, beef that happened years ago. I don't know. I just feel like there may be a point where they'll clash. And even Ant-Man, he said it himself in an interview. He was like, he's excited to play with LaMelo, and he knows there's going to be lots of ups and downs. But he said in the first year, there's definitely going to be a lot of downs. I don't know what he meant by that specifically, but I just feel like it will take some time for them to adapt. And people saying that this is going to be the team that wins them the championship, I think not yet. I don't think that's going to happen this year, just because they're still, it's just two of them. They're still going to warm up to each other. But they will be an incredibly flashy team. And I think that's something undoubtedly, with the type of passes LaMelo throws and the type of dunks. There's literally already been edits of LaMelo passing the ball to other teammates, but then people editing it into Anthony Edwards. So I just think them two, it's just gonna be such a flashy duo, incredibly flashy. They're gonna have a hard time at some point. That's just my opinion. I feel like there's gonna be a point where things are a bit rocky. Also because Anthony Edwards was talking about how he was on the phone to LaMelo and saying how they're going to have to tone it down in the press conferences with their swearing, because teams can get fined, players can get fined for swearing in press conferences. And like I said, both of the players are quite young. They're quite LaMelo's known for having a large online presence. People see him as a really TikTok-y guy. So they said that they're going to have to tone it down the swearing. But yeah, them two as a team is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very flashy, very fun to watch. No doubt about that. But I feel like it will definitely take them some time, and they might need a few more pieces too to become a championship team. Because bear in mind, LaMelo has never, he's had 6 years in his career, he's never been in the playoffs. So as much as LaMelo can shoot, as much as LaMelo can pull it from the three, that's a lot of flashy stuff, but I don't know if they are championship worthy yet. But like I said, that's a yet. We never know. The trade window is still open until early February, and I feel like if they get a few more stronger pieces, they could get up there. But then again, them two competing in the West as well, with all the strong teams, it's gonna be a bit harder for them to become a championship winning team. LaMelo and Ant-Man against Wemby in the Spurs, I don't see them being strong enough to push through that from a competitive standpoint. But yeah, I think good luck to them though. I think they're gonna be a great duo, and it's gonna be so much fun to watch. I don't think I can stretch that enough. It's gonna be, the highlights are gonna be crazy, guys. The highlights are gonna be crazy. We already know. The highlights are going to be sick. So yeah. Okay. Next, Miami Heat. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Like I said, love Giannis. Absolutely great player. I love that Giannis has moved on from the Milwaukee Bucks, because if you watch his documentary, and if you haven't, you should, because it's such a great documentary, really inspiring. Giannis was talking about how Milwaukee Bucks was like one of the only teams that like took a chance on him when he moved from Greece, because obviously he grew up in Greece in a very poor background. He would have to work on the streets for his mom to help his mom, and they would sell things to strangers, and it's really wholesome to just hear that documentary. But he was saying that Milwaukee was his home. Milwaukee took a chance on him when no one else did. And it's really nice. And like when you hear that, you think it meant that he would stay in Milwaukee forever. But obviously he had to move. Milwaukee wasn't giving him what he needed. He is such a strong player with so much potential, and Milwaukee was holding him back. So he finally made his move, and it's really funny as well because he changed his number. His mom was born in 1963 and his dad was born in 1964. So he took the 3 and the 4 from his mom and his dad, put that together, 34. And then 3 plus 4 is 7, hence his new number. And his mom's born in April 7th. And he just wanted to start fresh. He wanted, because there's so much baggage, so much history with the Milwaukee Bucks, so he felt like it was good to start fresh. And I mean, I rate that because my number used to be 7. It's a great number. Also, just wanted to flex the Giannis. Like I said, he's a great player and he has great shoes. If you guys need basketball shoes, get these shoes. They're so pretty and so good. These are the Infinity, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't come with that. They're really good shoes. I definitely recommend them. Sponsor me, Nike. I was watching an ESPN interview and Perk was saying how Giannis being the first option for Miami Heat is not going to make them a team that gets to the championship. That's not going to make them a championship winning team. And I just think that's really interesting because he was saying that like Giannis is not like he's a good scorer, but he's not good enough of a scorer to get to the championship. And like that, he wasn't fazed by the trade. I think Giannis and Bam Adebayo are both very strong two-way players. Like, obviously they're big. They're both big. They've got that defense. Like, Giannis has got defense. Bam, defense. Defense is so important. I was playing 2K the other day with my brothers, and one of them beat me just by a little bit. And it wasn't nice. But in that moment, I realized, and like when I'm playing basketball, you realize that when it comes to the fourth quarter or like the third quarter and you're slightly behind, it doesn't matter if you're scoring points. If your defense isn't there, the gap's just going to keep increasing. You put 2 points up, but they put 2 points up. And if you're letting them get points, they're just going to stay above. In those moments in the fourth quarter, you need turnovers. You need to force them to turn over the ball. You need to force them to make mistakes, and you do that with defense. Bam Adebayo and Giannis Antetokounmpo are strong defenders. Not only that, they can put up points. Giannis is a top scorer. Adebayo, if you saw his 83-point game, like he can score points. Do I think that they can make it to the championships? I think that's an interesting question. I just feel like the Knicks is such a threat right now, with the Knicks winning the last one. But I do think Miami Heat is in a good position. I think them having Giannis now is going to be so great for Bam Adebayo, and I feel like them two together is just going to be so good defensively. And yeah, I think it will definitely help the team. And them having like Portis Jr. as well. Like, I think Miami is in a better position. So like I said, I disagree with what Perk said about Giannis being a bad first option. Like, Giannis isn't a Jalen Brunson, but he's Giannis, and I think that's going to be really entertaining to watch. Yeah, so that's what I have to say about the Giannis trade. Okay, now let's moving up in the geography of America. Philadelphia, great city. And I genuinely feel like this season is gonna be the rise of the Eastern Conference, because I just feel like there's gonna be so much tension, but also like so much more competition, because the East is known for being one of the weaker sides compared to the West. But obviously, with the Knicks winning, they're proving that the East is got it. Now, there's been a lot going on. For any of you who didn't know, Jalen Brown, he played for the Boston Celtics, and he's a great player. Like, he's not just a great basketball player, he's really intelligent. Like, too intelligent. He is incredibly smart. He is so smart that his first team was scared that, like, if they drafted him, he would eventually, like, get bored of basketball. Like, this guy, he lectured at MIT. Like, I think he did something with NASA. Like, this guy is incredibly smart. And he's incredibly outspoken, and he has a stream. Like, he has he streams. So, he's got his own podcast, he streams. And many people aren't happy with this. Many, like, some journalists, lots of people aren't happy with this. Which is it's just interesting. Because, yeah, just basically, long story short, he said stuff on his podcast to offend Boston Celtics fans. Bear in mind, Boston Celtics fans are quite racist. Quite very racist. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyway, he said something on his stream at some point to kind of insinuate that he didn't like Jason Tatum. That he was happy that Jason Tatum wasn't playing and that he felt like he had his best season without Jason Tatum. Yeah. A few years ago, before Kevin Durant was traded from the Suns, Boston Celtics were going to give up Jalen Brown for a trade. That failed. Then, again this year, the Celtics were very interested in trading Jalen Brown again for Giannis Antetokounmpo. That failed as well. So it was a bit awkward, obviously, for Jalen Brown, because now it's kind of an awkward conversation. Like, oh, you were going to trade me? Why? After I was your MVP, helped you win a championship. He did a lot for the team. Now this year, more recently, Jalen Brown has been traded from the Boston Celtics to the Philadelphia 76ers. And, like, in his podcast, he even said, they packed me up. Like,
packed me up, chat. Boston, they packed me up. But, hey.
They packed me up. And he felt like he was treated with disrespect. They didn't really explain why. They didn't explain everything fully. But he just felt like a lot of disrespect, and he didn't like how they handled it. He said at first things were like chill, like things were okay, but then all of a sudden he was just packed up, kicked out the door pretty much, off to Philly. And he's excited about his time now coming into Philly, but he definitely had a bit to say. He was like, it's not right. Yeah, I think that was very interesting. And the crazy part as well is that, like, they didn't even, like, trade their player who was injured, Jason Tatum. They traded him, and not only did they traded him to their rival team. Like, even in his stream, Jalen Brown was talking about how he's gonna have to get used to now liking the 76ers when he's been so programmed to hating them.
Says, like, I've been programmed to be like, man, fuck the process. So it's like, it's funny now I gotta, like, reverse engineer.
Because they're literally rivals. Like, they're one of their biggest rivals in the East. So now he's going onto that team that he's been hating for all these years. And it's gonna be a long, hard adjustment. But I think it's definitely good that he was traded, because if he was being treated with disrespect in the end of his career when he was getting kicked out, I think that's for the best. And it was quite obvious that there was some tension between him and Jason Tatum, just with, like, some comments Jalen Brown would say on his stream, and then people insinuating that in talks with kids, Jason Tatum was talking about what it takes to be a leader, and how that was, like, a shot at Jalen Brown.
I don't know it all. I'll be the first person to say that. Being a leader is being comfortable with raising your hand like, Michelle, I don't know. Can you explain that to me? I don't know X, Y, and Z. I want to learn, right? Being around somebody that feel like they know it all, I don't want to be around that person, right? I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to learn from somebody else.
I don't know. But yeah, I think this trade is going to be good for Jalen Brown, and he can get his lick back, hopefully. Okay, the 76ers, obviously. The 76ers have Joel Embiid, which he's like probably still injured, I think. I think he's currently injured. He's always injured. But if he wasn't injured, and if he's not injured anymore, and when he gets better, he will do good for the team. The 76ers also have Tyrese Maxey, who showed his excitement for what I'm about to say on his stream. And obviously, you probably all know this now, but LeBron James has been traded to the 76ers. I think that's crazy. And I think that was, when I saw him in the uniform, I was like, what? Like, huh? 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 I'm not sure. I didn't like how it looked. But now that I've heard more about it, I feel like it actually makes sense. And like, people are saying he's ring chasing. And I'm like, okay. Because if he's ring chasing, let him ring chase. Basically, ring chasing is, people say that he is going to Philadelphia just to get like a ring now, just to win another championship, when instead he should just like retire at home. Lots of people thought he would go, me included, I thought he would go back to Cleveland Cavaliers, which was his first team. And that would have been nice, because it would have been like a nice closing, would have been like a nice like finishing at home type thing. But no, he gave a statement. He said he wasn't doing this for money. He wasn't doing this for family. He was doing this because he still wants to compete. He still wants to sacrifice. And he still wants to work hard. He also said he genuinely believes he can help Philadelphia win a ring. And I just feel like that's so nice and kind of selfless, because it's like, that team, so like, Philadelphia has not won a ring since 1983. Like, that is a long time. And I feel like LeBron, being the player he is, if he genuinely believes that he can go to a team, help them win a chip, by the way, he's staying with them for 2 years. If he believes that in these 2 years, that he can help Philadelphia get a chip, why not? And like, yeah, I think that's just so great. Because what's wrong with him wanting another chip? If LeBron manages to get a chip in these next 2 years with Philadelphia, a completely new team that he was never even played with, I'm sorry, but this will give him a big up on the debate of him versus Michael Jordan on who's the GOAT. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Imagine, on his 25th season in the NBA, winning another chip with a completely new team who wasn't that close to getting a chip in the first place, who hasn't gotten a chip since 1983. Imagine that. Imagine, like, guys, that would be crazy. He would, like, I'm sorry, but he might just be the GOAT. If he succeeds in that, he might just be the GOAT. And then we can just shut down the Michael Jordan versus LeBron James argument. But we'll have to see if he can really do that. But yeah, I think that's just so interesting, that of all the teams he went to, he chose the 76ers. It's also going to be, like, funny for his family. I think he's going to be, like, staying in New York and then traveling to Philly, which they're not too far apart. And I guess he can make that work. So that'll be very interesting for his family. But yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to see how this season plays out, guys. And like, I'm gleaming. And the funniest, craziest part is that the trades aren't even done yet. Like, people can still make trades up until like February, guys. This is gonna be so interesting. So interesting. And I hope there's so many more trades. And I feel like, so there's so many more trades that can be so beneficial. Like, there's so many more free agents that could be so beneficial. There's so many trades that can be so beneficial. And I just think this season's gonna be so interesting, guys. Like, the playoffs is gonna be so interesting. And if LaMelo's likely gonna make it into the playoffs this year now. So if this is gonna be LaMelo's first year in the playoffs, and that'll be so interesting for him. There'll definitely be stuff on his TikTok. I don't run this account.
Can you follow me back on Instagram?
Yeah, I don't run.
Huh?
I don't run.
I think this season's gonna be so interesting. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about these trades as well. And do you think LaMelo and Ant-Man is gonna be like an amazing team or a doom team? You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you think about LeBron's decision as well with him moving to the 76ers, whether he should have gone home, whether he should have gone back to Miami, like what he should have done. Because this is completely new to him. And let me know what you guys think of Miami Heat and if Giannis's trade is impressive or blah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching my second episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad you came back from the last one. If you haven't watched the last one, go and watch the last one about the WNBA and the history of the WNBA. And also watch my video on the one event, because that was really fun. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think of these trades. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. Yeah. Thank you again for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.